Welcome. I'm Dr. Saida. This is the Redefining Femininity interview series, and I've had such an incredible honor to hear from many different perspectives on what is femininity, and today is no exception. Satyen is a good, and I would call you an old friend. We've known each other almost 2 decades now, and I really cherish our connection because of just the way that we meet. We just meet heart to heart, soul to soul, and your depth and your presence has always impacted me in such a positive way. So I'm really excited to have you here, Satyen.
Oh, thank you, Saida. I feel the same about you, your sister, divine sister,
So Satyen, why don't you just share a little bit about yourself before we jump into some fun questions together?
I'm the founder of Warrior Sage Trainings. We've been leading international trainings on human potential across the world for over 20 years. And our current project right now, which I'm very excited and heart uplifted by, is we've initiated Warrior Sage dojos, which are really places where people can come together and practice around a living community and raise each other up mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, so that we all arise together. So the idea is that we're coming offline and we're meeting once again face to face and supporting each other. This is all for free. It's a community initiative. And if you'd like more information and get involved, that's at warriorsage.com.
Yeah, wow. That's amazing, Satyen. I love the sound of that. I think it's crucial we get offline. It's crucial we get back together and we speak and we interface as a living community. I love that idea. Thank you. In that, like speaking to that, because you do lead a lot of men and women together, and you have a very powerful wife and a beautiful daughter and gorgeous son. I know that you have a very unique perspective on what femininity really means. And so I'd love to hear what it means to you.
For me, femininity, it means it's a series of qualities within our being, all of us, men, women, regardless of gender, regardless of sexual preference and styles. Femininity and masculinity, I believe, are energetics and fields of potentiality of consciousness within our whole body, within our whole being, within our whole karma, our dharma. Now, some of us are more masculine, some of us are more feminine by imprint. Some of us are more feminine and masculine, and wherever we stand in that by birth. And some of us have it really messed up from a lot of challenges in life. So the essence of femininity for me is, in a pragmatic, real down-to-earth way, is cultivating the qualities of invitation, surrender, and full expression. Invitation means cultivating within myself the ability not only to go out and to get life, to achieve, to conquer, to succeed, to move forward, but to be in the center of my own being. Invite in a lover, invite in friendships, invite in abundance, invite in health, invite in the divine. So it's a disposition of gracious, divine, loving, safe, powerful, empowered invitation. So that's one of the aspects, I would say, the triad of the feminine. The other aspect of the feminine triad in this particular understanding is surrender, the cultivation of surrender. Now, it's not the white flag, I give up surrender. It's the surrender from already having a base of solidity in your own well-being, in your own boundaries. But in moments of intimacy, in moments of prayer, in moments of communion with nature, in moments of sexual surrender and ecstasy, it's learning to open up from the strength within us into surrender. So surrender becomes now a form of, I am willing to follow the grace that's living me. I am happily willing to receive and follow and make my life flow with the nature of existence that's with me. So surrender is physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, and powerful. Invitation, surrender, and then the last part of this triad, if you will, is expression. Full expression of being, for me, is a very powerful feminine capacity. That means when my heart is hurt, when it's sad, when it's closed, when I have anger, I own it and I express it in a safe, loving, conscientious, connected way, but I'm free in it. I'm not restricted, suppressed, or repressed. I'm expressed in it. It also goes for my happiness, my joy, my exuberance, and in intimate sexual settings with the fullness of my pleasure and moans and sounds. It's the expression of being unrestricted. To me, when we have invitation, surrender, and expression turned on within our being, then it allows the fullness of the feminine to flow within our soul, within our life, within our society.
Yes. That took me on a journey. That was beautiful. Thank you. Very unique and very powerful insights. And I'm curious, Satyen, was there something that happened on your journey, your life journey, where these perspectives became self-evident, where they became, the compass that you lived by?
Well, my beloved Suzanne, we've been together now 33 years as a couple. And as you shared, we have a wonderful, young adults, and we're just in our new honeymoon phase right now because both children have now finally moved out on their own. So Suzanne and I are in this new honeymoon phase. It's really something. So we discovered through the years that just trying to talk being to being, Suzanne and I, was beautiful. But we had to discover that there's nuances in how we communicate. Whenever we would get in tensions, conflicts, fights, and such, I was trying to barrel through and get to a solution. I was trying to barrel through and get to the answer so we can get back to love. I was trying to get to some type of completion of the noise of what the problem is so we can come back to freedom and connection. And I didn't realize that I was pressing my internal masculine agenda, which is having more presence, having more claim, let's claim this, having more penetration in the world, follow through, direction. These are all that's the masculine triangle: presence, claim, penetration. It's the reciprocal of invitation, surrender, and expression. They work together. What happened was when we realized that Suzanne and I, we have both the spectrums within us, but I operate more so in the masculine. She operates more so in the feminine. When we started to see, when she's being inviting, I could be more present. When I'm more present, she becomes more inviting. How funny is that, right? When I'm more claiming my truth, claiming my purpose, what I'm here for, I'm integral, I'm claiming what is right inside of me, naturally, Suzanne surrenders more. She opens, her body flowers when I'm in my claim and in my power. And I know you're an amazing dancer, right, on many levels. We see this in Latin dancing and tango, this dynamic. But what we realized was that dynamic, right, amazing, right? So that, I think the journey has been over the years. We learned this. There wasn't any dramatic moment, but we just got sick and tired of reliving our parental patterns of macho and submissive wife and macho man and all of that, coming from Asian cultures and such. So it's been a journey, and I think there's no end to it. I think the beauty of the feminine is that it's such a great mystery. It keeps informing ourselves, and this right now. This time right now on the planet is the emergence of the awakened, enlightened, conscious, the full radiance of the feminine. And I think it's important for all of us to honor, cherish, and embrace that within ourselves. Men or women. Yeah. It doesn't matter who we are.
Yeah. I love that, and I agree, and I love that a lot of your wisdom has come from direct dynamic relationship with another, with your beloved, because I think that's incredibly real and informative in very powerful ways. And I love also that you mentioned that there's an evolutionary component to this. I think people really need to get this. It's not this static condition. It's emergent, it's evolutionary, and perhaps it was deeply feminine 1,000 years ago. It's different. It's like you said, flowering and becoming even more. And I think that's important to consider that in this dialogue. So here's the last question that I want to ask you. And it has to do with all the divisiveness that I'm witnessing between like masculinity and femininity, and somehow we demonize the masculine and we exalt the feminine in these current kind of political dialogues, at least. And I think it's very harmful to the collective spirit. And so what I want from you is, what do you believe would be a really great thing for the viewers to consider in terms of the desire to create more harmony and healthy dynamics between masculine and feminine?
This is a great question, Saida, because this is really up in society right now, so big. First of all, I want to say that this backlash against maleness and masculinity is great. Why? Because for thousands of years, we've been dicks and assholes and suppressing the feminine in mild to horrible ways. So I am all for the rise of the feminine, the rise of empowerment, the rise of consciousness, and the rise of equality. So I'm all for that, and the strengthening of all that. The thing is, it's not masculine and feminine that's the problem. It's the unconscious forms of them, the less evolved, the banal forms of them, the ones that have the imprints of the past. So if we can remove ourselves from it being about men or women and see it as being a historical thing that we're evolving through, and that we don't want to suppress the male like the male suppress the female, that doesn't work. How about we find what's the enlightened versions of both the feminine and the masculine within us, and then artfully how to play the beautiful game of the dance between the enlightened masculine, the enlightened feminine between us. This is a journey. There's no quick answer. It's going to be yours in the coming, but it has to start with the intention of embracing that there's not just masculine is bad, that there's stages of evolution of the masculine. So the old stage is a lot of macho, a lot of spine, less heart. The newer man is more heart, less spine. To me, the enlightened masculine is spine, meaning purpose, direction, integrity, clarity, power, with a softening of the surface, a sensitivity to the world, a desire to serve the greater good, everyone, all beings. To me, that's the enlightened masculine.
Satyen, that was amazing. So the living, I wish that we could have you, like you, even speak to the masses, where there could be an engagement to bring in these ideas. They're so full of life, so creative, so invitational. And I really believe that that's what we need. Yes, to honor the wounds, and yes, to honor the journey, but we're not just that. And we are this creative impulse. And what you just shared, for me, really, like, I almost burst into tears. It was so powerful, and I'm really grateful. Is there like a last minute little one-liner or like something quick you'd love to share with us before we go?
Stop hating people.
Yeah.
Start loving where we can go.
Yeah.
There's atrocities abound. There's negativity abound. And we need to manage and deal with all of that in a strong and powerful way. And at the same time, we need to create a strong and valiant, unified future where we're raising and honoring the spectrum of the feminine and masculine as a dance of the whole. And so my invitation is, let's have fun and joy, inject passion and the intention of enlightened passion between all of us as we go through healing, and now into feeling each other and knowing each other, ultimately into liberating each other's fullness and being of devotion to evolving and supporting our whole society, men, women, children, elders. I believe this is the way that we will emancipate our hearts all together, you know?
Yes. Yes. Just a big yes. Thank you so much, Satyen, for being with us here today. And for the viewers, just stay tuned. I have a little invitation for you. You're invited to join this amazing conversation. Soon I'll be doing a training, Redefining Feminine Power, and I want you to be there. So click the link that comes with this video, join, Just for joining, I will be giving you a free downloadable gift, so definitely watch out for that. And if you can't make it at the time that the training is happening, don't worry. Because you've signed up, we'll make sure you get the replay. All right. So all you need to do is just click on the link, join the conversation, and let's redefine feminine power together.